So just to maybe give a background, right? I believe we started working together in the month of March as of this year. And the treatment that we decided to focus on, especially for your clinic, would be bridges and crowns, right? And right now we're already entering we're in the middle of our second cycle, right? So we finished the first 3 months and then we renewed another 3 months as well, which shows us that you're pretty satisfied and happy with the initial cycle as well. And we generated decent amounts of revenue, and especially with the second cycle in just 2 months itself, we generated about 33,000 ringgit as well. And of course, we have another month left, and of course, adding the other treatment into it. So I just wanted to ask you, right, doctor, right, before working with us, right, what were the challenges that you were facing in attracting new patients, right, before specifically working with us?
Okay. For us, we feel like our reach were not to say that good because we are currently just depending on word of mouth.
Okay.
And the maximum we could do is run a Google ad or FB ad.
Hmm.
And even that, I will have to manage it myself or have to ask my assistants to respond. And, sometimes the questions are pretty specific that your staff won't be able to answer it. A dentist should be able to answer that, right? So
Yeah.
that is one thing. And if you want a proper flow of patients inside your clinic, you need a good marketing strategy.
Hmm.
That is very important. So we feel that our manpower here is not sufficient and maybe not capable till that level to bring in that category of patients.
Understand.
So we need more time to explain to all those patients, right? So we need a third party, another person to do
Un-
all those. So that's where you guys come in actually. So because
Understood.
we are serving around and we felt that okay, maybe I can give it a try because we have tried quite a few before this, right? So
Understand.
it has
I
worked
think
out.
that ties in perfectly with the second question I have, right? Which is what drew us to, what drew you to partner up with us with our advertising agency, and what would you say are we different compared to the other marketing agencies you've spoken to or other marketing agencies you've worked with?
Okay. The first thing is the communication.
Okay.
I feel that is the key of anything, because
Absolutely.
we have actually lies with because a few other agencies, right? But
Mhm.
then the problem is they are not consistent in their communication. See, like us, we are having every probably a week or 2 weeks on, and
Mhm.
then if there's any issues, we're going to settle up as soon as possible, right? And
Mhm.
the most important part that I actually like it is because we can actually have our talk after my clinic hours.
We're
I'll
very
just be
flexible,
honest,
and
seriously, yeah.
especially
Like,
working with dentists, we know that how the schedule also works. And during the day, you guys are absolutely packed. So we also
yeah.
have to make ourselves flexible to be able to accommodate to your timings as well.
True, true. So because the previous ones that we work with is like they are asking us to have this talk within 5 p.m. So
And
within 5 p.m. is still under my working hours. And just because for this one discussion, I will have to jeopardize my clinic sale in order to boost the sale. It doesn't
yeah,
go well, right? So I think that is one of the major part of it.
mm,
And the second thing is when we communicate and we deliver that to you guys, you are delivering it quite well compared with other agencies. Although there are some hiccups in the beginning, but as we communicate, we already know okay how we can actually work together, and that is why I think we can make it even better in coming times.
absolutely.
At the current times and all, maybe in the future even better.
Yeah. And of course, especially, right, I think maybe you can, clarify on this, right? One of the things that maybe stood out to you guys was our appointment setting system, whereby our appointment setters, you mentioned the price, we pre-qualify the
Mhm.
patients, whether they're suitable for bridges or crowns or not, right? How did that make an impact, or how did that alleviate maybe some burden when you spoke to the patients that we provided to you?
Okay, we're going to have like quite a lot of walk-ins into the clinic, right? And they are definitely going to ask, in our cases, bridges, crowns.
Yeah.
These treatments are considered not to say the basic treatments.
Mhm.
That's a bit more expensive than the other form of treatments, right? So not everyone is ready to pay or to spend that amount of cash on this kind of treatments for them.
Under,
So through this, I'm actually filtering out whomever they're actually willing to go for this kind of treatments. So it saves my time a lot.
under,
Yeah. And with there's another one, the 30 plus appointments, right?
yeah.
Okay, that's like quite catchy actually.
Okay. How
So
is
I
that?
feel like okay, 30 plus, and then I just calculated how much it's going to be if it hits maximum or the minimum. We have to be able to bear the cost, right?
Correct.
So comparatively, you see, okay, then why not we give it a try because
Mhm.
they have already spent so much. So this is just another try out of all, and it's a good bet.
I appreciate it,
Mm.
Doctor. Just a follow-up on that, right, Doctor. Like, what results have you guys personally seen, right, when we begin managing your advertising, particularly
Mhm.
in terms of patient volume, in terms of revenue, and also tying it together with terms of like how did the 30 plus pre-qualified bridges, crowns patients impact your clinic's business as well?
Okay. Actually, ours when we started, I mean, I'm talking about when we started licensing with you guys,
Yes. Yes.
is we already have some decent amount of sales actually, but it is not sufficient. We wanted to boost it up. I think
Mm.
that's what I told you in the beginning, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I wanted to boost it up because I feel like I'm still having quite some time left in the clinic, so I don't want to just be sitting simply. So I'm
Mhm.
trying to occupy my time. So That is why we wanted to try out something new. Because when we try out something new, we are not sure whether it's going to work or not, right? So
There's always
when
a
we
risk.
are already having a decent amount of income, I think that is the time that we should be pushing for all this.
Mm,
If we are already dropping in your income, and that is when you're going to push, it's going to burden you even more. That's what I actually feel.
yeah,
You understand, right, how the thing goes. So
yeah,
that is why actually we started with this, and I think it increases my clinic revenue quite well because I feel the time spent, the amount I'm spending for the marketing part as a whole, and compared with the revenue, I think it's good. Maybe in the beginning part, a week or two, there were some hiccups here and there. That is
just
totally, I feel, totally
yeah.
normal. Then after that, it started to get into the track, and patients start seeing the results and all those. So it eventually accelerated. I think.
Amazing. So like revenue wise, it has helped, right? But what about in terms of like branding? Like, did you also notice like, branding wise, it has also picked up a bit more, like more people started to get to know about your clinic. Maybe you can share a bit more about that, doctor.
Yeah, I mean, like about the clinic, yes. About us, totally yes. So because they started realizing you as a person, because you put our
Okay.
pictures there, right? And then
Yes.
I don't realize it in the beginning when I clicked the ad, then I saw the pictures and like, okay, so okay, never mind, it's okay. It's a good form of marketing, I feel, because we are not doing anything illegal. We are just following what is supposed to be done and then what are the options and everything. So
Yeah.
I think that's a good way of marketing ourselves because
Right.
I feel first the patient have to trust us, then comes the clinic. That's what I feel. Yeah.
And we've ran like a lot of different ad campaigns. We've tested so many different types of funnels, so many different types of appointment setting scripts, right? What specific, and we want to hear it from your point of view, right? Maybe this could
Yeah.
help us to, improve things even further, right? What specific strategies or aspects of our approach did you find most effective in reaching your target audience?
Okay. Okay, compared with then and now, right?
Yeah,
Comparatively, because last time we were trying to hop on a call or something like that. So since now there's a lot of online scams and all
correct.
fraudulent activities going on, right? So I feel now we are a bit more streamlined and organized because
Understand.
okay, when a patient comes in, okay, this is the treatment, okay, options, and what's just going to be. And when we communicate via WhatsApp, I feel it's much easier, and we do have a proof of what is the conversation is about. But this is good. I feel it's much more professional. I feel.
Understand.
Yep.
And
Mm.
how do you have any feedback in terms of the approach our appointment setting team has taken up? I mean, you've seen the conversations that we've taken with the patients,
Yeah.
right? In terms of like building a relationship, because at the end of the day, right, we are the first point of contact for the clinic. So your reputation matters a lot, right? The way the clinic looks at you matters a lot, right? So just in terms of the relationship build, confirming the appointment, informing the patients and educating them about bridges and crowns, because so many people do not know how to differentiate it, right? Like, what are your
Mm.
thoughts in terms of that compared to beforehand? In terms of just patients
Okay.
coming in and having zero clue on what they're getting themselves into, which kind of takes up
I
your
think
time
it's
as well.
it's a very big difference actually, Sam, because I need not be explaining everything from the scratch. That
Okay,
is the number one. Because whenever the patient walks in and I talk to them, about the day and everything, then I ask them first. I mean, what they know so far.
understand.
That's like a very easy way to
Yeah,
know what is the
yeah,
understanding. So some they will actually tell, okay, this is what I know about. So we know they already get a rough idea on how a bridge or a crown works. So
and
that is, I feel, the most important because to make a patient understand how a crown and bridge works is no joke. Seriously, it's no joke.
it took time for that.
Patient just, yeah, because patient just think, okay, there's only one tooth missing.
Yeah,
Why am I not just replacing that one tooth? Why are you calculating as three?
correct.
For us to explain to them, it takes time. And then it's just a simple thing, but once they see it, I mean, like it's going to be, much better, right? But
Yeah.
for them to imagine such stuff is going to be time taking. So I feel in that way, you guys are doing a pretty good job actually. And now we have the numbering system, right? I think that is even better. It's
Yes.
easy
Be
actually.
able to really see which teeth is missing, and then before they even come, we can at least give them a breakdown of okay, how many bridges
Mhm.
or how many crowns they need, and then give a
Yeah.
calculation. I think yeah, that really alleviates a lot of burden on your side as well. And just looking ahead, right, doctor, how do you see our partnership in terms of helping your clinic achieve its future goals? Like, where do you see this going, and is there
I
any
think
improvements or suggestions you guys have for us?
okay, I think we are doing actually pretty well, but I'm actually looking up even more because I feel all this marketing and everything, whatever we're doing now, is still at the still at the initial level. I feel
Just
because
warming
all
up.
this revenues, right, still at the initial level. I feel
Yeah,
we can actually do more. Just
yeah,
that we need like a proper team because I cannot be handling everything myself. That's what I realized.
yeah,
If I want the clinic revenue to grow, I need someone also to be there because I'm working from morning till night,
yeah,
complete schedule. It's like almost reaching the is almost reaching plateau already. The clinic sales because that's the maximum time that you have in a day,
yeah.
and you're spending it maximum. So which means I'm utilizing it really well. So if let's say we're going to improvise further, so like how I'm telling you, is going to be with another associate,
Hmm.
and we are also going to train her with you guys so that they will be able to communicate well with you also. I mean,
Amazing.
I feel that is much better.
Amazing. So we have like a proper point of contact right now at this point,
Yes,
which will
correct.
just smoothen up the whole communication even further, like how you had mentioned. Yep, that
Yes.
makes sense, doctor. And just one last question before we end it off, right? Would you recommend our advertising services to other dental clinics that are not a direct competition to you? If so, why?
Okay. I think anyway, okay, see, so because there are some clinics that actually rely on walk-in patients or whatever patient they have now, and they are happy already with it.
Mm-hmm.
They still there are some days they still want some time for themselves, and then they just want to chill, and then if they don't want the clinic to be too packed.
Right.
I've seen such dentists also. They want their own time.
Yes.
But for the one that is actually looking to really boost their income or whatsoever, they are not satisfied whatever they're doing. I feel the first thing is to get to know what you can do best, you know, and try to push on it. That's why I feel. I mean, that's I feel the key of to get more revenue, because if you are doing something that you are not really sure about
Yeah.
and you're doing marketing about it,
Yeah.
and you're going to screw up more cases,
Yeah.
and the marketing is just going to turn negative.
Correct.
Yeah, so I feel that is the good part of it, and definitely I will recommend actually for
Thanks.
that. Not in my area, but
Yeah, of course.
some.
And we do have the non-compete policy as well. So we're
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
protected. We want to make sure when it comes to Butterworth and Penang, you are the only
yeah,
clinic
yeah.
we're working with.
Yeah.
So yeah, doctor, I really appreciate everything that you've said so far. I think this has given us a light up of fire in us to work harder and to make sure we are over-delivering for you guys as well. Thank you
Thank
so much for your time, doctor, and
thank you,
Dr.
thank
Nisha
you.
as well. Talk to you all very soon
Right.
tomorrow. Take
Thank you.
care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right.